If you're waiting to start posting on social media but don't feel ready, this is your sign.
We started content creation in February, March this year for Instagram, and we started our YouTube channel on the 30th of April.
We've tried a lot. Some things clicked, some things have flopped massively, and we've learned things in a slightly embarrassing way. Hi, I'm Vaishnavi.
I'm Karthik, and in this video, we're going to talk about our content creation journey so far.
So, as Karthik mentioned earlier, we started sharing in Instagram from early this year, and on YouTube from 30th of April. We share food, recipes, things inside the house, money related topics, and just our normal routine life and vlog style videos.
Right now, we are at about 35.8K followers on Instagram and about 2,700 odd followers on YouTube.
We are not full time content creators. Both of us have full time jobs. We just started sharing parts of our life on Instagram, and from there on, YouTube just happened. And here we are trying to juggle different things. Why we started? So, I've touched on this in our previous video, our biggest year yet video. If you haven't watched it, please go watch. I'm going to give you a gist once again. So, around late last year, one of our friends visited here and she tried some of our food and she looked at our house and all of that. She is a social media influencer and she suggested that I should start sharing some of my recipes on social media, so on Instagram. It was lingering at the back of my head. I didn't act on it straight away, but I did act on it around mid-Feb to March or so 2025. That's how I started posting consistently on social media. And I had a lot of things to share in my recipes, the way we lead our life and our Saturday Samail spreads and whatnot, like even my morning column and all that. So as we started sharing a bit of our life on the internet or on Instagram specifically, some of the audiences from Instagram asked us about our house tour. So we had to film our house tour, but house tour is not going to fit in like a 30 or a 60-second reel. So we thought, why not start a YouTube channel?
And yeah. Just a second, sorry. To be very honest with you, we were oblivious to the fact that there was something called a house tour. Before somebody asked us, we were like, do people really do house tours and all? Yeah. And when we started looking on YouTube for other house tours, we were like, oh my God, like people really like house tours. They would like to see like or take inspiration from different houses. And that's what made us move to YouTube and do a very comprehensive house tour, which is the first video that we took, but posted it as the second video because we wanted to give an introduction video as well.
Yeah, we'll drill into it a bit later, but yeah, that's how we started. The next section is what we posted. Around again mid-Feb March, we thought we'll start posting, right? Then comes the question, what do we want to post? Right? I work from home predominantly. I used to go to office around that time because I was still at my old job, but it was still very occasionally I'd go to office. So Karthik and I, we did like a brainstorming session and we were thinking, what can we post? And we came up with some rough structure. So at that time, Karthik used to go to work a few days a week. So I'd pack him some lunch boxes. And I usually tend to pack like a good variety of lunchbox. He used to tell that his colleagues are always asking how does he bring.
They always compliment my wife for my lunch boxes and they're like, how is your lunchbox so colorful? How do you make sure that you get protein every single day?
So yeah. So then he was just telling me, they were like, oh, maybe we should share lunchbox videos. Then we said, okay, I can't keep posting lunchbox every day because he was only going to work a few days a week. Then we thought maybe we will do like a day in our lifestyle videos and we shared some vlogs. So we made like a strategy kind of thing, like the days that he goes to work, we'll post lunchboxes. So that'd be 2 to 3 days a week. One day a week we'll post a day in our life kind of vlog that was mostly on Wednesdays. Then at that point we also thought, because I draw column every morning, we'll take some pictures every single day, and on the 7th day we'll post all the columns from the previous on that day plus the previous 6 days as a reel. Now people referring to it can just refer to that and they have columns sorted for their next 7 days. So that was the intention, that was the value add that we were intending to provide. So if you can see, a couple of days lunch boxes, and then day in our life kind of videos, and then column videos. This was like a basic
and Saturday Samayal. So that sort of covered what, 6 days already.
Yeah.
And we've got just one more day. It was easy, like we could find a recipe or two and just post that.
So this was like a rough, loose
strategy that we devised so that we don't get burnt out. Because if we don't have a strategy, if we wake up and start thinking about what to post today, that's going to eventually burn us out.
And we were
quickly.
stressing also, like we quickly realized we need to come up with some sort of strategy, otherwise it was stressing us out. So even like by mid-Feb or so, or maybe 3rd, 4th week of Feb, we came up with that strategy. We said, okay, this is what we are going to stick with, and this was more like an experimentation phase, because you can't keep posting lunch boxes will repeat, and then our lives would change. We would not take lunchbox to work, or maybe we will not have going to office kind of situation kind of thing. So anyway, so this was more like a experimentation in the initial days. This is all for Instagram. Do you want to talk about YouTube?
Yeah. So YouTube, as we said already, we started in April, and this is roughly less than a year since we constructed and moved into this house. So our idea was, a lot of people were asking us about construction in person, and so we thought that would be a good segue into building our YouTube channel. So the first video was our house tour, and then following it up with more construction videos on how our construction journey was, what are some of the pitfalls, how to choose a builder and stuff like that. And also we started posting some educational content like stocks,
money related content,
like investments in Australia, and solar, gardening. And we also started sharing our vlogs in a little bit longer format.
So by then we almost started having a brain freeze moment. So we were once again struggling with ideas for YouTube. People would ask for some, but like in reality it was difficult to do so, because like some of them always reach out to us and asked us, how do we edit videos? We ourselves are not confident about all that, so we were like not confident about posting them, and we're not confident about shooting them and all that, so we didn't post that. But we were like, we had a brain freeze moment for YouTube and we weren't sure what to do, and then we quickly pivoted into, just to keep us going, into more vlog style videos.
Yeah, vlog style. And also some of the videos actually came from you directly, because videos like her most prized collection, I don't think we would have done those videos. We didn't have the ideation for that, but somebody else asked us to do a video on that, and so many of the videos actually was born because of you guys.
Yeah, so either YouTube audience or Instagram audience, they're like, oh, you have so many nice utensils, can you do a video? So okay, yeah, fine. And then things like Costco shopping and those things, that added a fair bit value, and figured, oh, okay, if Costco shopping is working, then maybe we should do more shopping kind of videos. So that's how it came about. The next section is what we learned so far. So I'm going to quickly start off touching on Instagram. I think the first viral video on Instagram was our Saturday Samayal that we shared on 15th of February. It was just a video that I said, okay, hey Karthik, place everything there. I'll just talk about different thing I've cooked and we'll see if that performs or what. So that was our first Saturday Samayal video, and that clicked. So we thought, okay, this is something that's going to click, and we tried it the following weekend, next Saturday, but that did not go well. So the learning here is, if you think you have figured out a formula, you haven't, because it's not going to work next time. I'd be surprised if it works next time, and so should you be also. So there's no like one winning formula. What works today may not work tomorrow. It may surprise you and work once again. There's always that unknown that's there. The other thing that went viral was our vlog, one of our Wednesday vlogs. Then we were like, okay, this thing went viral, which is nice. We don't think the following week it is going to go viral, but let's just post anyway. But the following week went even more viral. So something was 5 million, the next one was 6.8 million. So, and then the third week it didn't go viral. So you may think that you have figured out a formula, but in reality you haven't, because algorithm changes, the time you post changes, things change, the music changes, whatever, editing style changes and all that. So the takeaway is to keep posting consistently and see what your particular audience resonates. We have found there's like certain areas that some of our audience, there are certain areas that our audience resonate, but that is not necessarily the winning formula for us.
The next thing is, for YouTube videos specifically, audio is extremely crucial, and we learned it the hard way.
So up until now, we were only filming on Instagram,
Yeah.
right? Like until March, we were only filming for Instagram.
And it was more like you'll have a lot of videos and you'll have background music on Instagram. So we did not think about audio that much. When it came to YouTube, and when we started taking our first video, which is the house tour video, we took about 45 minutes of footage. And then when we sat down to rewatch it, we
To
realized,
edit it,
yeah, to edit and rewatch the video, it was all over the place. In each and every single room, the volume was different. There was a lot of echo. And that's when we realized that we can't post this video. So we had to get a mic. We had to do our research and get a mic. And then we had to redo that whole video. So this was our first and costly learning, because taking a video for 45 minutes and just throwing it was not the ideal way to start a YouTube channel, but that's how we started off, with a very big lesson. So the lesson that we learned is audio is extremely important for a YouTube channel.
The third learning that we had was educational videos don't perform that well for us on YouTube. So we posted a lot of, let's say, money related or investment options. Even in the recent days, we posted different kinds of protein options kind of videos, which are more on the informational and educational side. For us, we thought that that's going to be super helpful for our audience, but they are not. At least for our audience, they are not helpful. So we are going to tone it down on that front.
Yeah. And the next thing is editing itself. If you're someone who's thinking about getting into this content creation, and if you don't know anything about editing, actually you don't have to worry, because when we started this, we knew nothing about editing. When we started getting into this, it was all trial and error. The first thing that we did was randomly take a few pictures, put it together, make a reel. And the next thing was, we discovered something called templates, where you can just put a few videos and it will automatically generate. We were like so surprised that templates were available, and then we could just do this forever. And then we realized, okay, templates were not the way to go.
Yeah, that was
and then
not...
we started making vlogs on our own. So all of this taught us something that helped push us to the next step. And here we are, because of all the learnings that we have been through so far. So our learning is that you just have to start, and editing is not a daunting process. You start, you make mistakes, and then you slowly grow and get better at it.
So if you watch our videos from like early Feb, March, it won't be that good. Now we are getting better with Instagram, and similarly with YouTube as well. One other learning here is, for YouTube videos, you could spend hours and hours editing a video. We realized at one point, I think for superannuation video or something, we put charts and...
We spent about 6 hours just editing the video. I'm not talking about
filming,
pre-production. It's editing, purely editing was 6 hours. And that video did not perform well.
At all.
Yeah.
So now we have learned, this is a learning that we'd like to share. Don't spend hours and hours in your editing, because it may or may not perform well. Just for that editing, that piece of editing, that extra few hours that you're going to put, it's not going to fetch extra views. It's going to get the views that it is going to get. That said, don't under edit also. I don't know if under edit is a word or not, but you know what I mean. Just find a balance. See how many hours you can spend and the amount of time, energy, effort you can spend in editing, and stop at one point. Because with editing, it's like it's an art, right? You can keep getting better and better, but you have to post at some point. And the final learning that we would like to share is, if you're starting out, don't jump into Instagram, YouTube, or multiple channels at the same time. If it is multiple channels where you're going to cross post it, then that's fine. But if there are like different styles of videos, for example, in Instagram, it's all short reels, versus in YouTube, if you're just going to repurpose it into shorts, that's fine. But if you're going to also make long form content, I'd give you a word of caution. Don't do all of it at the same time. It is a massive burnout. We feel it. but we have jumped into the ocean, so we are trying to swim. We can always make a choice to not do it, but we are pushing ourselves to try and swim and manage. This is not an exhaustive list of learnings. Let me quickly summarize. The first one was Instagram doesn't have like a magic formula or anything. You just have to keep posting consistently. Second one is for YouTube, your audio quality is super duper important. Third one is know what your audience want. For us, our audience don't prefer educational or informational style videos. So even if we want to do educational or informational style videos, we would have to think of it in a more entertaining style, which we are aiming and planning to do in the next year. The fourth one is you don't have to know all the tips and tricks with editing, just make a start. Fifth one is, if possible, don't jump into Instagram and YouTube or long form and short form video at the same time. There could be more learnings. This is what we could think of right now, and that's what we're sharing. The next section we want to talk about is how content changed our life. Now, let's talk behind the scenes. Content takes a lot of time, energy, and also your brain space. A lot of the times, our social life is impacted. Before content creation, in the evenings, we just sit and watch Netflix or go out to eat or do whatever. Now, everything needs to be scheduled. We still have a social life, but it needs to be planned. If someone just invites us suddenly, we have learned to say no because our routine gets disturbed. So the plus side is we have learned to say no a bit more often and with conviction. The other side is our social life is impacted, and let's be honest with it. The other thing that has happened with content creation is I personally feel my communication skills, the confidence and clarity with how I narrate anything has improved. It's possible I've always had it, but I never believed it. Now, when I see some of you telling me that they love how I narrate and how I put my thoughts into words, am starting to believe that I have that skill. Up until then, I'd be always double guessing it, and I'll be like, oh, I don't know if I've conveyed what I'm thinking, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm confident that I can convey my thoughts in a very crisp and clear manner. And this has boosted my like aura. You can see me very happy and very casual when I'm talking, and it's not like scripted or anything. This is who I am. I'm very casual. I've lost the shyness in front of camera. I don't have any shyness, just sitting here casually talking. So all that is a plus side that has happened due to content creation.
And personally, for me, one of the biggest changes that has happened is my confidence level, because initially I had always thought of myself as someone who doesn't have a lot of creativity. But when I started this editing journey, at first it was very difficult for me because I couldn't understand the heads or tails of it. But as I started getting into this and started learning things, I could actually see things differently. And when people tell us that, hey, your videos are a lot crisper or your videos have good editing in them, that's something that boosts my confidence because I put a lot of effort in learning that.
And Karthik also feels like he can learn something and apply that knowledge confidently. Up until then, he has always been thinking that he can't learn as well. He's more of someone where someone else has to teach him. He can't learn by himself. He still strongly believes that. But with editing, I don't teach him. I just tell him, look at this video, how they've edited. I think we should do something like this. That's all I say. And I share him the videos, but he would learn on his own and apply it. So he has learned the factor, or it has become evident that Karthik can learn by himself and apply it. Nobody has to teach him. The next section is our workflow. So for every video, we have a pre-production, production, and a post-production phase. The pre-production phase is where ideation happens, and it is predominantly handled by me. So I look at how we can script this video, what are the different topics we can talk, what are the different sections we can talk, and how can we make it crisp, etc., etc. So that is all into pre-production. I script it, I write it, I put it in Notion, I share it with Karthik and get his thoughts, and we work on it together. So he's doing more like my QC, and he's going to bring in a newer perspective because I've been super deep into a certain topic. Maybe I'm not thinking out of the box. So Karthik reviews it and he's like, why not do this? Why not do that? And we finalize the script at the end of pre-production phase. The next comes the production phase. That's where we are filming. It could be this video, or if it is a cooking video, it doesn't necessarily require pre-production. Pre-production is more like, what are we cooking? Do I have all ingredients for a cooking style video? But for something like this, I had script prepared. That was pre-production, and this is the production part.
During production, some of the most important things are the angle of the video, the lighting, the sound.
Yeah, and like the background and everything like that. So that's the production, and I think both of us are involved. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, this angle is not good, the lighting is not good, blah blah blah, whatever. So that's production. Next comes the post-production phase.
Post-production is when I'll start editing the video. Once I edit the video, I'll ask Vaishnavi to do the QC for me. Then she'll review the video and say, hey, maybe this is too long, or this is too short, or maybe we can add some more information from the videos that we have taken. And so she'll do a good QC of that, and finally we'll come up with a video that both of us actually like,
happy with.
Yeah.
And the timing is also okay, meaning it's not too long or too short. If it is going too long, we sometimes split it into 2 videos and all that. So that's post-production. Post-production also includes things like thumbnails. This is for YouTube. So thumbnails, hashtags, description, title, and all that. Thumbnail text in certain cases. So whilst Karthik is editing the video, I'd be working on some text like thumbnail text, title, description. Those things are not to be underestimated for YouTube, because if you think about it, people look at your thumbnail plus the title, and that is what is going to get them to click on the video. So I'm still learning. Both of us are learning, and we keep thinking, oh, is this wording better? That is better. It's one of the hardest things. A lot of the times Karthik finishes editing the video, but with thumbnail, we'll be sitting there and thinking, what do we do for this thumbnail?
That's
so
true.
It's very hard. But yeah, that's the post-production workflow, and eventually we schedule it or we publish it. So we forgot to talk about a few things. Here are some of the tools that we use for pre-production ideation. I write all the notes and my thoughts and ideas in Notion. So we've built like a big database by now in Notion with our different ideas and scripts and everything. And when I am brainstorming, I use ChatGPT. So both of them, we use paid version, Notion as well as ChatGPT. That's for the pre-production phase. The next is production phase. So now we have iPhone 17 Pro Max camera. We have iPhone 17 Pro Max phone. We use that. We also have a iPhone 14 Pro. We use that also sometimes. That's for filming. And for mic, we have this mic that we got from Amazon. I don't remember
I think it's DJI Lark M2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have some light boxes around the house. If the lighting is very bad, we also use external light boxes for the lighting. So that's for the
Production side of things.
For
the post-production, we do use a few softwares. The main one is CapCut. If you are a beginner, I still consider myself a beginner in video editing. CapCut is a no-brainer, and it's probably one of the easiest tools out there for us to learn and use. So we use CapCut for video editing.
Also paid version.
Yeah, CapCut, we have a paid version because there are a lot of features that are not available in the free version, but feel free to explore that for yourself. We use Canva for editing thumbnails because they have a lot of options for editing, and the fonts are as well, I feel they're better in Canva. So we use Canva for that. And Envato Elements is a place where you can download stock videos, stock images, and audios for your file. So if you see a lot of the background music, soothing background music that we put on our YouTube videos, that comes from Envato Elements. So these are the 3 main tools that we use for post-production.
One other thing with post-production is, once again, title and description. For that, a lot of the ideas are written by myself. Sometimes I chat with ChatGPT or Claude or something, and then bring in more ideas. So once again, some sort of an AI tool plus my own brain plus Karthik's brain for the title, thumbnail, text, and description. However, if you're going to cross post it against different platforms, you would want to work on different style of captions for different platforms. So at least that's what I do. For Instagram Reel, the caption is somewhat chatty, or that because that's how my profile is in the Instagram world. But when it comes to YouTube, it is in a different style. It's the same reel, but the title and description is very platform dependent. So if you want to post it on TikTok, it can be even more raw. I'm not that much into TikTok yet, but I've heard and I've read that TikTok is very raw and it shows like real life. Instagram is somewhat polished and YouTube is somewhere in between. Depends on how you want to show yourself in these different platforms. Depending on how you want to show in these different platforms, you would want to tailor your caption and title accordingly. And you can always use an AI tool like ChatGPT or Claude for that. The next section is if you want to start posting content in 2026. If you want to start posting content in 2026, here's your roadmap. Pick 1 or 2 content buckets that you enjoy and are passionate about.
Pick one repeatable series. In our case, we had a few. The Saturday Samael was a repeatable series. The Column was one, and the Wednesday Vlogs were a repeatable series. Pick one that works well for you and something that you enjoy creating.
Post at least 3 times a week.
And improve on one thing each week. It could be the camera angle, it could be the video itself, it could be the editing, it could be the audio, anything.
It could be caption,
It could be caption.
hook, anything. And don't obsess over numbers. And the last thing is, if you're going to film for YouTube,
If you're going to be speaking a lot in front of the camera, please buy a mic.
don't be like us. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and getting to know how we create content. I know some of you have messaged and asked us or asked me a lot about content creation, and I hope this video is providing a lot of value.
If this video motivates you to create content in 2026, that's a win for us.
We'll see you in another one.
Bye.